and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Tonight on Primetime, business leaders want lawmakers to address the rollback of the business privilege tax. Mr. Lecanto has that report. Plus, starting today, areas of Manila went into a strict lockdown after a surge in coronavirus cases. And our Adriana Cotero shares her journey and reason for getting vaccinated.
Hafa and good evening. I'm Adriana Cotero. Business leaders are turning their attention to the legislature to address their #1 priority, a rollback of the business privilege tax. They believe the huge windfalls in federal assistance that KUAM has been receiving means money can now be put back into the hands of struggling businesses in the form of lower taxes. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The chamber has been lobbying hard for returning the BPT to 4% from the current 5%, but Governor Lou Leon Guerrero has repeatedly opposed the move, saying government finances remain on shaky ground. So Chamber Chairperson Christine Boleto says they're turning elsewhere.
Really, our focus right now is with the legislature. We can't even begin to speak with the administration until we get it past the legislature. And so we're hoping that the legislature will schedule some public hearings, allow the community to voice their opinion, their position, their feelings on the rollback.
No less than 3 bills have been introduced to roll back the BPT in one shape or form, but Boleto says the chamber is only focused on an outright rollback.
I think when you add on different measures, you kind of convolute the situation. If there's a sales tax that they want to implement, or another insurance, then I think that needs to be separate, and we need to focus on the rollback because that's the most immediate need for our community.
The BPT was raised 3 years ago this week on April 1st, 2018. It was in response to a projected $60 million loss in government revenue due to tax cuts under the Trump administration. The legislature passed the increase, and it was signed into law by then-Governor Eddie Calvo in what was supposed to be a temporary hike. But senators last term removed the sunset provision. Contractors Association President James Martinez says now the Biden administration may reverse the Trump tax cuts.
We're seeing that they're going to roll back some of the tax breaks that were given to corporations. So that's going to bring back some of that money that potentially was lost in the previous administration. And then you have the American Rescue Plan that's going to include the EITC payments. So that's going to be additional funding of at least up to $60 million. So, a lot of things have changed over the course of the couple of years.
They say it's the right time for a rollback, especially coming off a very hard year for business because of the pandemic. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
The greater metropolitan Manila area and 4 surrounding provinces were placed in strict health emergency lockdown effective today. The order was made after a surge in COVID-19 cases this past week in the National Capital Region. Nestor Lecanto reports from Manila, Philippines.
President Rodrigo Duterte ordered 1 week of enhanced community quarantine, the strictest quarantine status, effective from midnight Monday through Sunday, April the 4th. This has been especially hard on this predominantly Catholic country because this is Holy Week. Religious mass gatherings are strictly prohibited, and the normally packed Good Friday and Easter Sunday services will have to be observed online. Stringent limitations have also been placed on movement within the metro. Public transportation will remain operational, but in a very limited capacity and subject to strict guidelines. Those below 18 and above 65 years of age are required to stay home, as are pregnant women and people with comorbidities. Certain essential businesses are still allowed to operate, but will be strictly regulated, and an intensified curfew has been imposed from 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. The government is also deploying an increased presence of uniformed military personnel to enforce the quarantine protocols. Comments on social media and on public radio indicate a growing frustration on the part of the more than 13 million people who live here in the National Capital Region. It's been more than a year since the pandemic started, and there's no sign of easing. In fact, over the last few days, there's been indications of an apparent rise in the number of infections. Reporting from Manila, Philippines for Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Guam Police Department's Highway Patrol Division was activated to investigate the Telefofo Cliff auto runoff. Early Sunday morning, a man was rushed to Naval Hospital following a 911 report of a car that ran off the roadway at the Telefofo Bay Overlook. Guam Fire Department acting spokesperson Charika Chargaloff says the report was made at 7:16 a.m. The man was unconscious when he was transported to the hospital. According to GPD spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapau, as of this afternoon, the man is still under care at the hospital. The crash investigation is ongoing. Last night, just before 9:30 p.m., Guam Fire Department units responded to an abandoned structure fire on Harold Street in Nimitz Hill. According to GFD acting spokesperson Charika Chargaloff, they received the 911 call report at 9:18 p.m. and once units arrived at the scene, the fire was under control within minutes. No injuries were reported. This next story is definitely a personal one, as after much thought and consideration, I, a COVID survivor, officially joined the vaccination. I wanted to document my experience from start to finish and share my why and reason for getting the vaccine. Here is a first-hand look at my journey to becoming vaccinated.
1, 2, 3, you're done.
I didn't feel a thing.
Over within seconds, but makes a world of a difference, the COVID-19 vaccine. Last week, I officially joined the vaccination as I made my way to the University of Guam Vaccine Clinic and was administered the first dose of the Pfizer vaccine.
You received your vaccine at 3:14, okay?
The UOG vaccine site is one of the multiple clinics set up on island offering free vaccinations to the community. Recently, the Vaccine and Antiviral Prioritization Policy Committee, or VAPPC, announced opening the opportunity to all residents who are 16 years and older in order to reach Governor Lou Leon Guerrero's plan of Path to Half, having half the population vaccinated by May 1st, which is the target date for reopening the island, meaning that I, at 27 years old, can avail of this opportunity. Guam is one of the first in the country to meet this milestone, which would not have been possible without all the helping hands. The UOG clinic is manned by
Here on the
National
island, we like to be
Guardsmen
early,
and women.
even though it's
Guam
one time and we end
National
up being
Guard
late
Public
for some
Affairs
reason.
Officer Mark Scott joined me along the way to getting vaccinated.
One of the things that has helped tremendously in order to reach this operation and with this whole process is being able to scan and plan. You see that QR code right now on your screen. With that code, you can book your appointments online. This allows you to make your appointment, and then eventually you come out here to the University of Guam parking lot, where you then wait in your car. You have a ticket. Once your ticket is called, then you come to where I'm at right here, and that is standing outside the clinic doors.
Thanks for mentioning that appointment process. It really is the thing that spaces everything out so there's not a huge crowd all at once.
The UOG site operates from noon to 5:30 p.m. They are fully booked for appointments for this week, although they do allow walk-ins for up to 15 people per hour. According to Scott, they anticipate the clinic being open next week with available slot times and dates to be announced in tomorrow's JIC release. Scott took me on a step-by-step process of each stage to getting the vaccine, starting at the pre-screening area.
This is the pre-screening area where they're going to confirm your appointment and get everyone lined up and go ready to the screening tables, which will check more of your identification and do some consent forms and more information about the shot itself.
From here, after a short 5-minute wait, I was called to the screening table. At this stage, I filled out paperwork and signed off on a consent form.
Can I go ahead and get a form of ID, please? Yes. And it is your first dose, correct?
Yes. All right, so where are we walking to right now?
Next, you're lining up to go get your shot. You were just screened by AmeriCorps volunteer and a public health volunteer, which is important to say because this wouldn't happen without our volunteers from UOG, Public Health, AmeriCorps. There's doctors and nurses here that come on their days off just to help out. So much thanks to all of them.
Scott says on average there are over 50 volunteers daily. That's in addition to the guardsmen and women that have been activated for this mission. The latest JIC reports that 31,171 individuals have been fully immunized, and I'm one step closer to adding a number to that total.
From here, you will proceed to a table for your vaccine.
Okay.
All right. We can have you at table number 1.
All right.
You're number 1.
You got it. I like number 1. I don't know if it had something to do with the waving or what, but I'm here.
Please have a seat.
Thank you. Do you need this?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Jordan. I'll be the one administering the vaccine to you today.
Okay.
National Guardsman Jordan Suzuki, who is a combat medic, created my vaccination card.
I was always told growing up when I'd get shots just to not look and count to 1, 2, 3, then blow out. So I'm going to do that.
I'll count to 3 for you, okay? We're on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You're done.
No pain and in no time, I received the first dose of the vaccine. Following the shot, I was escorted to the observation area.
So next you'll be registering with the out processors who will kind of keep a tally, take another look at your final paperwork, and then you'll be in the observation area for the next 15 minutes to make sure you don't have any negative side effects, you feel all right, and then you can go.
After 15 minutes, I did not experience any immediate adverse reactions, but continued to monitor myself over the weekend. The arm I received the shot in was extremely sore for a couple of days. I felt slightly more tired and had a minor headache. Otherwise, as of today, I feel completely fine. In reflection, I still stand behind my reasons for getting the vaccine, and I want to share that reason with all of you. At first, I was skeptical to get the vaccine. I was hesitant because we don't know some of the long-term side effects, and we hear all of these different conspiracy theories. But at the end of the day, I really sat down, did my research, and as I was contemplating, I really thought about what exactly it is that I am fearful about. And I realized that what I'm most fearful of is possibly spreading COVID and possibly causing harm to others, and that outweighs everything. When I contracted COVID back in August, that is what weighed most on my heart and mind, and that's why I did everything in my power to prevent this from happening, by following public health protocols. And now I'm doing the same thing, being mindful my decisions, choices, and actions don't only affect me, but the entire nation.
You can watch the entire step-by-step process online right now, uploaded on all of our social media platforms. And stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Jamaican Grill remembers this past year and offers you the Hoffa-Day Special, available March 29th through March 31st at all our Jammin' locations. It's a two-mon pan full of our famous jerk chicken and ribs with plenty of red rice, all for only $19. That's enough Jamaican Grill to feed the whole entire family. The Hoffa-Day Special is our way of saying, let's get up and move. We've come a long way, and we've got a long way to go, but we got this, KUAM. Yeah, man. Together, we can.
Swim on in for Ruby Tuesday Seafood Sensations and enjoy your favorites from the sea in perfect time for Lent. Get hooked on lobster mac and cheese, the salmon loco moco, or the deep sea pasta. There's a bounty waiting for you on the RT Seafood Sensations menu at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
The Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce presents Fanatsu Famalawan, Women Rising, on Thursday, April 8th. This virtual conference will reach you wherever you are, featuring international experts and thought leaders sharing their stories. Experience on-demand sessions, masterclasses, and conversations to inspire and empower. Register today. Fanatsu Famalawan, Inspiring Innovation, April 8th at GuamWomen'sChamber.com. Special thanks to our change agents and our other community partners.
Social distancing may be the new norm, but connection will always be our tradition. Through good times and tough times, we remain connected with you. Masks may be the new fashion, but protection will always be our style. You can always count on us to protect the things that matter the most. Sanitizing may be the new routine, but caring will always be our practice. We care about your loved ones and the things you value the most. And as we welcome our new normal, one thing remains certain: we will always be here for you. We're open and ready to serve you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
Whether you use your truck for work or play, you can count on Ram Trucks. Built to deliver today and built to deliver for many years to come. Here at Cars Plus, it is Ram Truck Month, where you can get the best deal on a new Ram 1500 starting at a new low price of $31,995. You can call us at 477-7807 or visit our website at carsplusguam.com and schedule your test drive today.
We don't want to overhype the return of the quesalupa from Taco Bell, so we're skipping all the fanfare.
Man.
We'll just tell you, the quesalupa's cheese stuffed shell is back, and we think you'll like it.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Welcome back. With the mere $2.9 million FY21 budget, it's no backroad secret that the Guam Regional Transit Authority is stretched thin. And although GRTA Director Selva Bauta says they're doing the best with what they have, the agency was forced to switch gears and address a paratransit rider who claimed her civil rights are being violated because the agency is not adequately able to accommodate her needs. Tyler Matznani has the story.
Hazard lights were turned on after former Guam Regional Transit Authority board member and frequent paratransit rider Evelyn Duenas wrote a letter based on her experience from Friday, March 26. In her letter, she noted 5 concerns, one being lack of maintenance at one of the bus stops and that a non-ADA compliant vehicle was operating on a fixed route, thus limiting access on who is able to use their services and a violation of her civil rights. However, according to GRTA Director Selva Bauta, under the Americans with Disabilities Act, GRTA is required by law to provide transportation to paratransit riders who make a scheduled request the day before.
On the other hand, whenever riders call in at the last minute and say, hey, I want to make some changes, we accommodate those riders and we have the capability.
However, Duenas affirmed that calling and scheduling for an ADA vehicle doesn't guarantee that there will be one available. For the past 12 years, GRTA had utilized only ADA-compliant vehicles on fixed routes, which accommodate anyone who wished to use their service, until now.
I had to deal with that several times because the schedule being typed or fully booked. All vehicles, whether it's fixed or para, should be ADA accessible. And the rider does not need to call in if he or she is accessing the fixed route, because that is why it's a shared ride system.
In her letter, Duenas also claimed that the access to the porta potty at the Aganya hub was not large enough to accommodate individuals using a mobility device, therefore again violating her civil rights. She also stated that the request stop button on the bus was broken and she was forced to verbally tell the driver to stop the bus. Bauta's response? They're trying to accommodate all of the riders with respect to the resources that they have. Duenas, nonetheless, wasn't having it.
We've accommodated riders in the past who were having some trouble with their roommate at their apartments, and we go all out to help the riders out. No, hold on a second. We've gone out and provided tickets to riders who are in need of tickets.
Oh, Lord.
GRTA has been trying to purchase new vehicles for about 2 years. Bauta says those will finally be coming, hopefully around July or August. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matznani.
It's been years in the making, but Chalan Pago will soon be seeing a new community multi-purpose center. Peter Santos reports.
It's a plan 10 years in the making, but it's finally starting to take some shape. According to Chalan Pago Mayor Jesse Gogui, they'll be seeing contractors start to send in their bids for the construction of a new multi-purpose center.
We're almost at the finish line with regard to obtaining our contractor. We published an invitation for bid in January, and hopefully we'll start seeing bid submissions turned in by April 7th, I think, is the deadline. Whoever wins the bid will finish up the design. I mean, we have a basic floor plan, and we do have some renderings of what we would like it to look like. But they'll finish up the plans, submit the construction design documents, construction documents to DPW for the permits, and they'll also be the one to construct the facility itself.
The $6.5 million project, partially funded by a grant from the Department of Defense, will be constructed next to the Chalan Pago baseball field. The DoD will be covering a total of $3.5 million for the project, with the other $3 million being met by funds from the Guam Solid Waste Host Community Premium Benefit. And according to Mayor Gogui, they've been saving up for quite some time.
The Guam Solid Waste funding we're getting is actually for a 30-year period, and it's roughly about $150,000 a year, or actually $172,000 that we've been actually receiving from Guam Solid Waste. And so we started receiving that in January of 2013. And we started setting that aside because the whole purpose of that host community premium benefit was actually to work on larger scale capital projects. So back in January of 2013, we started setting that aside in an account that we manage so that we could build up enough revenue to show that we're serious about this project.
To date, the account stands at around $1.2 million, which Gogui says they'll use as a funding source to leverage the balance of what they'll need to borrow to fulfill the $3 million match. According to Gogui, the facility will also be FEMA certified in the event of a typhoon or natural disaster, with about a 200-bed capacity. And on top of that,
we have a baseball field there already. We're taking the outdoor basketball court and tennis court, and we're bringing that area indoors into this multi-purpose center. Also at the site is a community center. And actually, over the next couple of months, we actually will begin the process of building a new mayor's office. So what you're seeing us do is developing a mayor's complex.
a virtual public information meeting for the center will be held over Zoom on April 7th at 6 p.m. Those interested in attending can email ocp.mayor@gmail.com or visit the Ordot-Chalan Pago residents' Facebook page. For Guam's News Network, I'm Peter Santos.
Throughout March, every Monday, we've been featuring amazing women entrepreneurs as part of our women-driven segment. Tonight, we conclude Women's Month with a look at one woman who has two businesses that work hand in hand.
Meet Grace Takuyan-Witt, owner of the Grace Death Method, in which she offers personal training, and Gracefully Made, a meal prep service. She says the meal prepping started while she was still at her then full-time job and training for her powerlifting competitions.
I would bring it to work and my coworkers were like, "Can you cook for me?" And I'm like, So if I had extra, I would share with my coworkers. And then back in October of 2019, I left my full-time job, and I was still prepping for myself, and I was still prepping for some of my friends. And I said, I think I can do this part-time just to see. At one point, I was cooking about 140 meals a week. So it went from just a couple of people to about 10 people. And right now, I have a steady flow of about 6 to 7 clients that I cook for that are mainly, honestly, my clients at the gym, because it just makes it so much easier so I can kind of control what their food consumption is as I'm coaching them at the gym.
As for the Grace Death Method, it all started when people would come up to her at the gym, asking if she was going to be offering classes because they wanted to learn how to properly lift. During the first lockdown, Grace was able to get her certification in strength coaching and powerlifting. She admits there was some slight hesitation on her part.
The average trainer, if you're a female, has a great body. Their goals are a little bit different, and I didn't feel that anybody would want my coaching. So when I started at CrossFit Pizza back in October, it actually started off with me just trying to see if anyone would be interested in my powerlifting classes. It was a hit.
So much so that her classes have been filled with men and women wanting to learn proper form and technique when it comes to lifting. As for what it means to be a woman-driven business,
I feel that this is what I should be doing with my life because I want people to feel invested in. I want people to feel that they have that value. So the energy that I give to them, they could either reciprocate and give it back to me or pay it forward. A lot of the support that I received came from 2 small businesses that constantly pushed me. And constantly, like when I felt like giving up, they would just like remind me of what I should be doing. They're like, "Grace, nobody's doing this yet. You need to do this. You need to do this." And I think when you know that you have, even if it's a small team of people that want you to succeed, it's the most empowering thing ever. Like, yes, we should feel empowered and we should have that self-motivation. But when you have people out there that trust what you can do and believe in you, it's even better. Like it's so much sweeter.
Coming up, Dave Delgado has a recap of local sports. Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.
We've made a lot of breakfasts, and along the way, we noticed something was missing. A warm cinnamon roll for breakfast, or with breakfast. A fluffy blueberry muffin from the drive-thru you're already driving through. A glazed apple fritter, which might find its way into your coffee. These are options every breakfast haver should have, and now they do. Meet the new bakery sweets at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Mobile offers a new and convenient way to fuel your vehicle. Pay gas and go. No need to line up inside the store. Press preset. Enter whole dollar amount without decimals. Press loyalty ID and enter your mobile number or insert Smiles card. Insert and remove payment card or tap contactless credit card. Begin fueling. And don't forget to grab your receipt. Pay gas and go. It's that easy.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. On the show tonight, boys high school tennis and IIAG action, along with some girls beach volleyball. We'll also take a look at some East League boys high school volleyball from Teason High School. Check it out. IIAG boys high school tennis from the National Training Center in Harmon. FD's Arjan Sachdez defeated Harvest Christian Academy player Kenny Farrell 8-6 to advance to the semifinal round. Sachdez will face Harvest player Anthony Grigori in the semis after Grigori defeated Father Duenas Friars Ted Cho 8-0. St. John's Armand Sachdev also made it to the semifinal round behind his 8-0 win over Guam High's Ezra Schuerman. Sachdev takes on teammate Justin Joseph for a chance to get into the finals. Joseph beat out fellow teammate Jacob Jackson in the quarterfinals 8-6. The St. John's Black team finished the IIAG girls beach volleyball season undefeated with a 6-0 record. The team also finished with 17 matches won.
For a lot of us, we didn't think that we were going to be able to play. So just being able to, even though it's a shorter season and whatever, like it really is just a blessing to get to play like a sport we love, like for our senior year for like the last time.
Tylee Shepard and Ostia Mendiola cruised to a 21-8 first set win in their playoff opener against their St. John's teammates. Mendiola and Shepard never trailed in the second set.
And so when we heard that beach volleyball was going to be the first sport back for many of us, it was really exciting. And of course, because it's like limited space and limited time, practices were very minimum. But every time we had those practices, we worked really hard. And so going into the season, we were really ready for what had to come to us.
Ever since we were like in middle school, we always played outside league in Hagen together. So we kind of already like built that chemistry, and we've known each other like basically our whole lives. So we have a really good chemistry and we know how each other works. So it wasn't too hard to like adjust playing together, but yeah, like I think that we're pretty good together.
Just going into All Island, we're hoping to keep the momentum, not let ourselves like just chill out because the season's over, and just continue to work hard and hopefully get to the championships, 3rd place, 2nd place, 1st place, all that, yeah.
Teason High Titans defeated the JFK Islanders in boys high school Easter League volleyball. Teason picked up the 3-set win, 25-19, 25-7, 25-19. With the win, the Titans improved to 6-2 on the season.
Today we played a little bit more confident and ready, so because it's the 2nd round, so we practiced hard. And also another big difference, their captain Dean got injured, so that's also a big difference to the game. And also like the energy that they were playing, so I really like feel empathy for Dean and the team.
Teason looked loose on the court, getting after every ball. The boys were having fun, leaving it all on the court against the top seed Islanders.
Yeah, we didn't need to struggle as much as other games. We had our mental game there, so there was no need to get flustered. So it gives us more room to have fun. For us, what was working is our good motion, our transitions, our passing. Sometimes it wasn't all there, but we still pushed through with everything we needed to.
The Titans will hit the court again on Thursday when they take to the road facing the Simon Sanchez Sharks in Jigo. That's going to do it. We're back right after this.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Good news, friends. My triple bonus jack combo is back. The triple meat and cheese you need, the secret sauce you love, plus curly fries and a drink. It's a pretty legit combo, and it's just $5.99, only at Jack in the Box.
We get it. Living to the fullest is tough during COVID-19. You don't need to do it alone, and everyone needs a hand right now. We are here. Feeling overwhelmed? Call 647-8833 and let's talk. Mangaihem is a project of Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Join me now because on March 29th we say happy birthday to Elijah Untalan. I love you so much, and may the Lord continue to guide and protect you always. Happy birthday, Elijah. That's a fantastic shout out. Great job. Rachel, happy sweet 16th birthday to you. Your family is sending you all of their love. And Margaret Santos Canata, happy birthday to you. We love you to the moon and beyond, and we wish you many blessings always. Love, Benny, Trisha, and the boys. And a couple belated birthday wishes. First going out to Keisha Kitachai, who celebrates birthday number 6 on March the 27th. To our baby girl, you are a blessing. May God continue to bless you and many more. With love, Mommy, Daddy, Grandma, Papa, and your familia on Guam and California. And they can never say enough, we love you. And Yoshiko Guerrero, happy birthday to you. Yoshiko was also born on March the 27th. Quite simply, we love you.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. That's going to do it for us here on Prime Time. Thank you for watching. Have a good night and be safe.